Welcome, welcome everyone. We're very, very excited about tonight. We will start promptly at 4:30. Ah, there's Stephanie. Stephanie, I'm so sorry I didn't let you in earlier. You have my daughter's name on your,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So good to see you all here tonight. We're going to start in just a couple of minutes. Joe, we're almost ready. Just another minute or so for this exciting event to begin. The numbers are increasing.
Good evening, and welcome to the Lesley University Institute for Trauma Sensitivity Spring Convening. This evening, we are honoring two incredible schools with the 2026 Safe and Supportive Trauma Sensitive Schools Award. The two schools we're honoring are the William Seach School in Weymouth and the James Congdon School in New Bedford. The Safe and Supportive Trauma Sensitive Schools Award is given to those schools who have created a safe and supportive climate of belonging for students, families, and staff. Here to introduce the award presentation is Dr. Stephanie Spadorcha, Vice Provost at Lesley University. Stephanie?
Thank you, Joel. Good afternoon. I don't know about you. I'm down here in the South Shore, not too far from Weymouth and not too far from New Bedford, and the sun has come out. So I think that's a very good sign for all of us, and really appreciative of all the work that the Center for Inclusive Education does through the Lesley University Institute for Trauma Sensitivity to support your school settings and all the schools that work with the center to create safe, supportive, equitable, inclusive school environments where families and staff and ultimately our students that we want to work with experience a strong sense of belonging. So I'm very appreciative for the work that all of you do on behalf of that those initiatives. So I want to introduce my colleague, Dr. Brian Becker, our provost of Lesley University, to announce the recipients.
Thank you, Stephanie, and thank you for this invitation. As provost of Lesley University, but also as a clinical psychologist and someone who has written on trauma from a psychological and theoretical perspective, I'm honored to be here at Anchors of Hope Convening to announce the recipients of the Safe and Supportive Trauma Sensitive School Awards. Safe and supportive schools, they don't happen by accident. They're intentionally cultivated by educators who understand that students learn best when they feel safe, valued, and connected. Research and experience remind us that learning and well-being are deeply intertwined. When schools intentionally create trauma-sensitive environments, they foster the relationship, the predictability, and sense of belonging that allows students to fully engage in learning and to thrive. The Safe and Supportive Trauma-Sensitive School Award recognizes school communities that have made this commitment a guiding principle for their work and have demonstrated the powerful impact it can have on students, families, and educators. Our first honoree is the William Seach Elementary School in Weymouth. Over the past several years, Seach Elementary has experienced a remarkable transformation that reflects the dedication and shared commitment of its entire school community. A walk through the building reveals classrooms where students are actively engaged in learning within spaces that feel safe, joyful, welcoming. Staff and students interact with warmth and familiarity, creating an atmosphere of trust and belonging. The school leadership attributes this success to a deeply held student-first philosophy embraced by all staff and to ongoing collaboration among school personnel to address both individual student needs and whole school priorities. At Seach Elementary, professional and paraprofessional educators work together to implement best practices that support both school climate and student development. Nurses, counselors, behaviorists, and other specialists partner closely with classroom teachers and know the students and they know the students well, ensuring that each child's needs are understood and supported. Office staff greet visitors warmly. Custodial staff maintain a clean and welcoming environment, and cafeteria staff know the students and often anticipate their preferences. This amazing culture of care extends beyond the traditional school day through opportunities such as drama club, a school-based Girls on the Run group, and ongoing support for families to navigate district systems and remain connected to their children's learning. Together, these collective efforts create a school environment where every student and family experience safety, support, and a strong sense of belonging. Our next honoree demonstrates how a sustained commitment to trauma-sensitive practice can shape an entire school culture and strengthen both student well-being and academic success. I now present the James B. Congdon Elementary School in New Bedford, the Safe and Supportive Trauma-Sensitive School Award. The Congdon Elementary School has demonstrated a deep and sustained commitment to creating compassionate, inclusive learning environments. Since 2017, the school has intentionally integrated trauma-sensitive practices and PBIS-aligned strategies into every aspect of its culture and daily operations. Through social emotional learning, consistent and predictable routines, calming and reflective spaces, whole child support structures, and strong partnerships with families, Congdon has developed a cohesive system in which emotional well-being and academic growth are deeply interconnected. These practices reflect the school's mission to nurture lifelong learners and demonstrate confidence, strong moral character, and pride in their community. The impact of this work is evident in the school's recent accomplishments. Congdon consistently ranks among the district's top performing elementary schools and maintains staff retention rates above both district and state averages, reflecting a stable and supportive professional culture. Also, the school achieved a chronic absenteeism rate of just 9.7% during the 2024-2025 school year, the lowest in the district. That's just amazing. And it demonstrates the strong student engagement and a learning environment where students feel connected, supported, and eager to attend each day. So I hope you can join me in celebrating the educators, staff, students, and families who have made this work possible. And it's with great pride that we recognize Seach Elementary School and Congdon Elementary School as this year's recipients of the Safe and Supportive Trauma Sensitive School Award. Congratulations.
Thank you, Brian and Stephanie. I want to thank you for joining us and really appreciate the knowledge and words that you shared with us. And also want to congratulate the Seach and the Congdon schools. I'm stumbling on my words a little bit because it's very exciting knowing these schools and the work that they've done over so many years for this to be recognized. It is very exciting, and I just want to congratulate them again. So after the congratulations, let's hear from each school. Let's hear about the work to create a safe and supportive trauma-sensitive school. And let's begin with the Seach School, who began the work a few years ago. Michelle and the Seach team, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Joe. First, we'd like to extend our sincere gratitude to you, Joe, and the Lesley University for this honor. We are incredibly appreciative of Joe's guidance, encouragement, and unwavering support through this journey. He recognized our school's potential and believed in what we would become, helping us stay grounded in what matters most, our students. And Lindsay, whenever you're ready, you can present. So we'd like to share with you an overview of kind of where we began, where we started from, and then share with you some of the practices and a little bit about our school. So at Seach, it's just different here. That's kind of the philosophy that we live by. The difference starts with a simple belief that every child deserves to feel known, valued, and supported. My assistant principal, Jackie, and I have dedicated over 25 years to Seach. Over that time, we have seen several administrators come and go, often with limited opportunity to create lasting, sustained change. During some of those periods, the school climate felt unsettled, and there wasn't always a clear shared vision to guide the work. As a result, Seach developed a reputation in the community where working here was sometimes viewed as a challenge rather than an opportunity. And more importantly, where our students were too often seen as less than because of where they come from or the challenges they face. These barriers were misunderstood and used to lower expectations for our students rather than seen as reasons to provide greater support and opportunity. Together, with the unwavering support of district administration, we have worked to change that narrative. We believe deeply in the strengths, resilience, and potential of every student and have built a school culture where all students are valued, supported, and held to high expectations. Our staff all share the same values and mission, and it is evident in the work they do every day. We are proud that Seach is now a place where people want to be, a community where both students and staff are empowered to grow, succeed, and thrive. So just to give you a background of where we began, our trauma-sensitive work at Seach really started with a shared commitment to better support the whole child. As a staff, we spent time talking through what we believe about kids and what they truly need to be successful. And that's how our mission and vision came together. It was a collaborative process that reflected all of our voices and values. From there, we continued to grow together through book clubs, conversations, and ongoing professional development, building our understanding of how trauma impacts learning. We also put a strong student support team in place, which includes our school adjustment counselors, BCBA, and nurse, so we could better support both students and staff. Our partnership with Joe helped deepen and enhance this work even more. Over time, we have strengthened our practices, expanded staff capacity, and created more consistent systems that ensure every student feels safe, understood, and ready to learn. Our team, made up of teachers, support staff, office staff, custodians, and even our lunchroom attendants, have all embraced this work. They support one another, lean on each other for guidance, and actively seek out best practices to continuously find effective ways to meet the needs of our students. Everything we do is grounded in our mission. Our mission statement is, our school challenges and supports all students to become confident, curious, and courageous learners through high-quality instruction in a caring and inclusive environment. We believe that a diverse community is essential to academic success, social and emotional growth, and the development of good character. William Seach, oh, I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. Go ahead. This year, go ahead, Lindsay. Sorry. William Seach actively cultivates an awareness and respect for diversity. We strive to create a positive, joyful, and inclusive community by embracing the following values: respect, ownership, achievement, and responsibility. We encourage empathy by celebrating our differences, understanding the world around us, and holding ourselves to high standards of conduct. We prioritize social emotional learning so students feel safe, connected, and ready to learn. We build integrity and trust by supporting one another and understanding our choices while recognizing that everyone is learning and growing. We are committed to upholding high standards and expectations for everyone in our school community in order to ensure that all students can learn to their fullest potential. We accept the responsibility to work hard and persevere in all that we do. So some of the things that we've been working on to celebrate the whole child focuses on yoga, kindness club, drama club, girls on the run, and social skills groups.
Hi guys, I'm oh, 1 second. Hi guys, I'm Alicia. I'm the BCBA at Seach. So when we think about collaboration between a BCBA and a school adjustment counselor, the first thing to recognize is that we're both coming from different backgrounds. We're trained differently. We use different language, and sometimes we're looking at the same situations through different lenses. As a BCBA, I'm focused on data, patterns, function of behavior, and how we can teach new skills. A school adjustment counselor might be thinking more about emotions, relationships, and what the student is experiencing internally. Even though those approaches can look different, they're not at odds at all with each other, and they actually work really well together. At the end of the day, we're both trying to do the same thing, which is help kids be successful and feel supported. What really helps us is taking a step back and focusing on where we overlap. We're both working on things like emotional regulation, coping skills, communication, and helping students access their learning. When we keep those shared goals front and center, it makes it a lot easier to stay on the same page and create consistency for the student. Another big piece is just having a mutual respect for each other's roles. We each bring something important to the table. Mm-hmm. When we trust each other's expertise, collaboration feels a lot more natural. And honestly, communication is everything. Just taking the time to check in, share what we're seeing, ask questions, and explain our thinking in a way that's easy to understand goes a long way. It doesn't have to be anything formal, just staying connected and open. So it's really just about working together, respecting each other, and staying focused on the same goal. And when we do that, we're able to support the students in a way that's just more consistent, more thoughtful, and ultimately more effective.
So when we're thinking about our collaboration and the whole child, our shared mission and set of core values was designed to support the development of the whole child and foster a strong sense of belonging. Here we strive to ensure every student feels seen, valued, and connected each day. Through opportunities, like I mentioned, our yoga club, our kindness club, drama club, and social skills groups that are run by our school adjustment counselors, we nurture not only academic growth, but also social skills, social emotional development. This foundation helps build student confidence, take positive risks, and develop meaningful relationships. We also prioritize student voice, creating opportunities for students to share their ideas, perspectives, and experiences so they feel heard and play an active role in shaping our school community. We also believe in shared responsibility, where every student is our student. We work collaboratively as a team to support each child's academic, social, and emotional growth, ensuring consistency and care across all settings. Together, we hold ourselves accountable for creating a community where every student is supported and able to grow and thrive.
So we partner closely with families. I'm Jane Piercentini, one of the school adjustment counselors. We partner closely with families to understand their unique needs and connect them with wraparound supports that extend beyond the classroom. This includes access to counseling services, behavior and mental health support, family outreach, and connections to community resources such as food assistance, housing support, and healthcare. Our team works collaboratively to remove barriers and ensure families feel supported, heard, and empowered, knowing they have a trusted network around them focused on their child's overall well-being and success.
Next, we're going to highlight one of the clubs that we have here. It's called our Drama Club. We've got a little video to speak to it.
The Seach Drama Club was created to help students have a creative outlet, so especially for the kids that don't necessarily excel in the classroom, they can shine on stage in many different ways. We have kids that work backstage, kids that help us with costumes and props, kids that love singing and dancing and being in the spotlight. We also like to help the kids really work together and be a part of something that's bigger than themselves. So at the end, no matter how big their part was, how many lines they had, they all come together to be part of something that really represents our school community and helps them strengthen their confidence.
Sorry if that wasn't quite smooth. So that's one of our wonderful third grade teachers, and she leads the drama club, and it's really a labor of love.
We also have Kindness Club here. Kindness Club was created in memory of one of our students who passed away, Haroon, from a long illness. Haroon was loved by staff and students. And when we tried to process this loss, the students all kind of said the thing about Haroon was his kindness is what they remember. So with that, me and two of his former teachers created Kindness Club. And it's just a group of students, and we spread kindness throughout the school and the community. And me and the teachers have continued like a strong bond with his family, connecting them, going out to the community with them, having them come to the school. And it's just a really nice way to remember such a great student.
So as we think about where we are as a school, we've really built a strong foundation thanks to all the work that we've done with Joe and all the work that we've done as a staff. There's a shared understanding about how trauma impacts learning and what that can look like in the classroom in terms of behavior and the importance of relationships. And that's really led to meaningful shifts in how we show up day to day for our kids. At the same time, we know that this isn't something that's really ever finished. So we're going to talk a little bit about how we're going to keep this work going. The work really has to keep evolving as the needs of our students and staff change each year. Even within the year, sometimes the needs change and we need to be flexible and adapt. One of the ways that we want to highlight that we're going to continue this growth is through staff training and collaborative and proactive solutions. We wrote a grant through DESE in the fall to fund this work, and we're bringing it here to Seach, which is really exciting. This is going to help us deepen our understanding of students who are really struggling and focus on the why behind their behavior. It's all the work that we've done with Lesley has created a culture that's made it so that we're really ready to take this next step with our staff. We're continuing to shift our mindset from reacting to behavior in the moment to being more proactive. This means anticipating challenges, building skills, and really keeping a focus, that trauma-sensitive lens and that focus on problem solving. It's truly a team effort. It isn't just something that happens in one classroom or with one role. It's really a collaborative school-wide approach, and you can feel that when you come into our building. We all really share responsibility for our students, and consistency across the building really makes a huge difference. And we feel like we've really built this really strong foundation that we can continue this work moving forward. And there we are. Nicole, I don't know if you want to say a few words before we share our video.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously none of this work would be possible without the heart and dedication of our teachers and staff who go above and beyond every single day for our students. We know that this work is not easy. The time, the energy, and emotional investment can sometimes be overwhelming, but they continue to show up each day, reminding students that they are cared for and that they matter. Their impact reaches far beyond the walls of their classrooms as they truly live and breathe our belief that every child can learn, every child is unique, and every child deserves to be seen, valued, and genuinely cared for.
So we put together a video, and it's got almost all of our staff members in it. And it just kind of highlights, if you were to come into our school, what you would see and what you would feel. So hopefully the video works. Let's try it.
So what I like about Seach School is I like all of the students, and I like about all of the people and all how they're like being all kind and stuff. And all of the staff is also really kind. They also
Every school has classrooms, hallways, and lessons. But at Seach, it's the people, the relationships, and the sense of belonging that make it truly special. When you walk through our doors, you can feel it right away. You see staff greeting students by name. You hear laughter in the hallways. You notice teachers collaborating, supporting one another, and doing everything they can to help their students succeed. At Seach, it's just different here. That difference starts with a simple belief. Every child deserves to feel known, valued, and supported.
That kind of makes sense. Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. All right.
In a trauma-sensitive classroom, it is really important for the teacher to build nurturing relationships with the students, to also have high expectations, and have your classroom be set up that it is very structured and routine so they can have predictability of what is coming at all times. And I think the most important part, and the part actually that would make your classroom successful, is to just realize that every child, you should be valuing them as a person and what they can offer to the world, really.
It's really important to have a trauma-sensitive classroom because treating every student as if they came in to your classroom with trauma is beneficial for every kid, whether they have experienced it or not, and it just creates an extremely safe and comfortable environment for each and every kid. And I think it's a great way to start off your classroom and to continue with it throughout the year.
I think the biggest thing that I've learned is how important relationships are, and I have found that you can't start to make real, true progress until you've developed the foundation of a relationship with the kids. And then I think just as important as the relationships I've found is the structure and predictability.
As teachers, we learn that children do well if they can. That's why it's so important to have trauma-sensitive classrooms in schools. Students that have experienced trauma may need some extra support and love in order to be able to take risks and work on things academically and independently. Teaching traumatized students is not impossible, it just looks a little different.
Rachel, what can I do for you? So listen, last week you said that
it's St. Patrick's Day. Where is St. Patrick's Day celebrated?
At Seach, our mission guides everything we do. It is at the center of who we are. It shapes our decisions, our instruction, and the way we support every student each day.
We love Seach!
There's one more, Lindsay. So thank you again. Thank you to Joe. Thank you to Lesley University for acknowledging us and all of our hard work. We are so proud to be able to show our amazing school and our amazing students and our amazing staff and share all of the great things that are happening here. So thank you again, and we truly appreciate the recognition.
Thank you, Seach. That was a great presentation, and the videos. I appreciate you sharing your journey with us. And I think all of us would agree that every student does deserve to be known, valued, and supported. I also want to comment on the fact that when you talked about staff collaboration, what occurs to me when we have those discussions, and that particularly that collaboration, between folks that have different lenses or perspectives on kids, that BCBA and that adjustment counselor coordination, it moves us from the concept of either or to the concept of and that kind of collaboration, I think, produces so many robust and wonderful supports for kids. So thank you very much, and congratulations. So if we can bring down the Seach presentation, I think it's time to go to the Congdon School. And the Congdon is a school that's been doing this work for many years and sustaining it through ups and downs. But let me talk about sustaining it through COVID and all the post-COVID confusion and all the work we're going to do and mandates. And I think it's a real testament to the school that they have maintained a safe and supportive trauma-sensitive school climate and culture throughout all of this over the last many years. And so to hear more about that, Mary, you and your team are on.
Thank you so much, Joe. I want to say thank you to you for all of your continued support and your support throughout all of those years. We want to thank the Lesley Institute for Trauma Sensitivity. We're very humbled and honored to be here tonight presenting on behalf of James B. Congdon. I do want to introduce two of my teammates who are here with me. My name is Mary Carvalho. I'm the principal of Congdon.
Hi, my name is Christina Cairo. I am the lead teacher and coach at Congdon.
And my name is Melanie Zog, and I am the 5th grade math and science teacher at Congdon.
So we've put together tonight a presentation for you that highlights some of the great work that happens here. This award would not be possible without the work of all of the teachers, all of the staff, all of the educators, and all of the families as well. So again, I don't want to steal the words of Seach School, but Congdon is a very special place as well. And I think that that's something that we both share. We want to share with you. We'll start off by sharing our mission. And the mission at Congdon is to enable and inspire our diverse student body to achieve academic excellence, self-confidence, healthy relationships, and make them lifelong lovers of learning. So that comes through high-quality instruction, student supports, school-wide systems that really have to work together to meet the individual needs of each of our students.
And our vision at Congdon is based off of high expectations for all. Congdon's vision is that all students will speak, read, write, and solve problems at their grade level and beyond, that 100% of students will show growth in all areas, and that all students, faculty, staff, families, and community partners will feel safe and supported at our school.
At Congdon, we believe in welcoming students through daily greetings. We prioritize creating a warm and welcoming start to each school day through intentional and consistent greetings. Our administrators and staff are strategically stationed throughout the building to ensure that every student is positively received upon arrival. Team members are present at the main office entrance, on each floor, in classrooms, including support staff such as reading specialists and ESL teachers, reinforcing a strong sense of community from the moment students enter. Each morning, classroom teachers meet their students outside where they line up by homeroom and then accompany them into the building. This routine helps foster a smooth, structured, and supportive transition into the school day. Once inside the classroom, teachers greet students individually, often offering choice-based greetings. For example, many classrooms feature a greeting choice board that allows students to select how they would like to be welcomed, such as a high five, a wave, a fist bump. Pictured here is one of our amazing kindergarten teachers using this approach, which is mirrored in various forms across the school. We feel morning greetings play a critical role in establishing a welcoming and inclusive classroom environment. They help build a strong adult-student connection and set the positive tone for the day and support students' social emotional well-being from the moment they arrive.
Thank you, Melanie. So every morning, our morning announcements are live streamed from a classroom. We start at 8:25 on the dot, telling our students it is important that you are here every day. You matter. And those teachers sign up in advance to have their class featured. During the morning announcements, we will read off up to 4 shout outs. And the shout outs are submitted by staff. They recognize students in a variety of different areas. So-and-so worked so hard in math yesterday, or they were kind to a friend at lunch, or invited a new friend to play at recess. Students are also given the opportunity to celebrate how they've earned shields, which we'll talk about in a little bit when we discuss PBIS. And this reinforces that positive behavior and achievement throughout the building. And then at the end of every morning announcement, we finish by reciting our Congdon code: work hard, be nice, stay safe. All right, and then to piggyback off of that, we also, in morning announcements, often discuss our character traits of the month. So our list of character traits that we were going to be celebrating each month was shared with the teachers back in August to give them ample time to plan and strategically embed the language around those character traits in daily lessons. And that's an expectation for all staff, not just classroom teachers, but ESL teachers, our specialists, para-educators. Everyone is aware of the monthly character trait and we're talking about it. So they're also, like I said, reinforced with our morning announcements with a lesson like the slide you see pictured in our slides. And for example, students also will share out. Recently, a student shared out how she was working on a particular dance move and she'd been stretching and working so hard for the past year and talking about perseverance. So students will also share out when we visit their classrooms for morning announcements. By having students provide examples of character traits, it's not only demonstrating their understanding, but strengthening that peer learning. And then at the end of the month, staff nominate a student they feel really exemplified that character trait of the month. The students are recognized on morning announcements and they receive a certificate. Their photo is taken with administration and then that photo is shared with their families.
So at our school, we have positive behavioral intervention and supports. So we do that by having consistent, proactive expectations. We praise publicly and we redirect privately. And we have a unified school-wide approach. So at Congdon, PBIS really comes to life through the way we teach and reinforce expected behaviors. One way we do this is using shields, as seen in the picture, bottom left. It's our Congdon Crusader shields. And every staff member is required to participate and they do willingly. They can hand out shields for seeing students who are exhibiting our Congdon code. And it's not just tied to classroom teachers. It's every staff member in the building, the secretary, the principal. She always gets involved. We always see her handing out shields. So that means that students are recognized across all settings. We all walk around with shields in our pockets, and they're always earned and never taken away. They can earn shields either as a class or individually. However, it's great because it's always contributes to the collective classroom goal. So it's really a shared responsibility and it's an intentional way that we do this. At the start of the year and again after long breaks, we intentionally flood students with shields to reestablish expectations and set a positive tone. We also pre-teach expectations before transitions so students know exactly what success looks like before they move into a new space or activity. And once they fill up that chart, which consists of 100 shields, each class is able to vote on their reward. They can earn a class pajama day, a stuffy day, making slime, or extra recess. Those rewards are student driven, which increases buy-in and excitement. And you can see in those pictures, one was a bracelet making, and I think slime is the #1 choice for each classroom. They love it. So what we're proud of is that our approach is comprehensive. Every staff member is trained in our school-wide expectations. So students experience consistency no matter where they are or who they're with in the building. That shared language is especially important for new staff because it ensures community and clarity across the building. We also pair PBIS with restorative practices. Students can access supports like check-in, check-out, behavior tracking charts, schedule breaks, and visual schedules. These tools help students regulate, reflect, and re-engage. Our SAC and our behaviorist is super important in this role as well. They're a great addition. But ultimately, PBIS at Congdon is about creating a positive, predictable environment where students feel supported, recognized, and connected. And that's what makes the system work.
At Congdon, we have Playworks and Structured Recess, which focuses on engagement through structured play, real-time conflict resolution, inclusive leadership, and smooth transitions. Incorporating Playworks into our structured recess program has had a significant positive impact on students both academically and socially. One of the most notable benefits is the development of problem-solving skills. Students are taught to encouraged to use simple, structured strategies, such as rock, paper, scissors, to independently solve minor conflicts. This works much better than you would think. For example, if disagreements occur during games like kickball, such as whether a player is out, you are quickly settled by rocking it out. Now, this happens naturally, even when an adult is not prompting, because we've had Playworks for several years now. The kids will just go over to one another and they will rock it out all on their own. This approach has significantly reduced conflicts, empowering students to resolve issues in real time. As a result, there are fewer disruptions, and students are able to remain focused and engaged in their learning throughout the day. We have also strategically scheduled recess before lunch, which helps students release energy and resolve conflicts prior to entering the cafeteria and returning to the classroom. This has contributed to smoother transitions and increased instructional time. Another key benefit of Playworks is its emphasis on inclusion and continued engagement. Students are not excluded from activities due to conflicts. Instead, they are redirected to alternative options, such as a short movement break. They might go do jumping jacks or push-ups or jump rope, and then they come right back into joining the game. If needed, students may also choose a different game, ensuring that all students remain included, supported, and active during recess play. Playworks has also enhanced our indoor recess programming, especially during the colder months, which we've had a lot of. Structured activities such as board games, for example, they love Connect 4, provide students with opportunities to engage positively, practice social skills, and stay connected even when outdoor play is not possible. Additionally, Playworks promotes peer leadership opportunities. I teach 5th grade, and my 5th graders, along with some of the 4th graders, serve as recess coaches, and they go in and mentor and foster recess for the younger students, giving them a sense of community across all grade levels. Overall, Playworks has created a more structured, inclusive, and supportive recess environment that benefits the whole child, socially, emotionally, and academically.
Okay, thank you, Mel. So another area we want to discuss is our family engagement strategies. Family engagement has been a big priority for us this year. We have a family engagement leadership team that's comprised of different members of staff. So we have separate leadership teams that have different focus areas. And we've had several events this year already. We've had breakfast clubs. Those are held quarterly. They occur right after arrival. So after parents drop off their students, they come in, they have the opportunity to meet with myself and the other member of the admin team. We also have family engagement at the breakfast club and the wrap department. And it offers families just an informal opportunity to come in, have a coffee, have a muffin. They can ask any questions they may have that are lingering, or also just request support in person. So it has opened a lot of doors for families this year, and it's something we're going to definitely continue. We also have an ice cream social. It's how we introduce our families to their teachers. So before school starts, 1 or 2 days before in the afternoon, we invite all the families to our back area and offer ice cream. And it's just a very informal way for families to come and meet the teachers and get to know the staff. And it's just an exciting event. You can see there one of our 4th grade teachers, Miss McWaugh, greeting one of her students from the previous year. So it's a very exciting time. We've also had Trunk or Treat, and I'm going to have Ms. Zog talk about our Cozy Connections event we had in January, because she's on the family engagement leadership team. But all of these events combine. They're inclusive experiences. They promote communication and trust and supporting stronger attendance, behavior, and achievement.
Our Cozy Connection event was designed to encourage families to use technology in ways that meaningfully support student learning. So we all know technology is huge now, and we just wanted to encourage the use of it in a positive way. Families received multilingual resources highlighting both the benefits and potential drawbacks of technology use at home, helping them make informed decisions together. A key focus of the event was offering practical, screen-free alternatives that families could easily incorporate into their daily routines. Students and their caregivers participated in a variety of engaging hands-on activities, including creating sensory bottles, which we almost ran out of bottles, exploring an Olympic station led by our physical education teacher, and they got like little medals if they participated, using conversation starters to build communication skills, which were also translated in several languages, assembling reading routine jars, practicing origami with our art teacher, working with sensory sight words, decorating bookmarks, and playing math dice and math card games. We are also proud partners with several community organizations that enriched our experiences in this event. Community Boating hosted a STEM activity where participants designed and built boats to hold pennies, so they got to test their design out. Our school resource officer shared important information about internet safety. Casa del Ciudad Library helped families sign up for library cards and access reading resources. And we also had wraparound services from New Bedford Public Schools provide coats, socks, and other warm clothing to help support our families. We were so thrilled. We were able to welcome 70 families and almost 170 participants, making an evening of warm, collaborative, and impactful experiences for our school community.
Thanks, Mel. So you heard Melanie talk a little bit about our community partners, and at Congdon, our community partners are a huge part of what makes Congdon special. These aren't just add-ons, they're meaningful experiences that expand what students have access to. Those community partners that she talked about not only came to our event, but they also come to our school and allow us to go to them various times throughout the year. So community voting comes directly into our schools to teach STEM lessons to our fifth graders several times a year. And then the most exciting piece is that in June, they get to take a bus down to the South End in New Bedford for 2 separate opportunities to learn how to sail. For many of our students, that's an experience they might not otherwise have, and it's something they'll remember for years. Our local library, Casa Saudade, is just a block away from our school, and it has been an incredible partner as well. They've helped families sign up for library cards, and they carry a wide range of Portuguese titles, which is especially meaningful for our community. It's a true neighborhood connection for us. We have the Grow program that comes in, which visits our 3rd grade classrooms monthly. Students learn about the cycles of growing a garden, and in the spring, they plant pumpkins, garlic, and tomatoes in our raised planter boxes, which families can harvest when ready. It's hands-on, it's engaging, and it ties beautifully into the science standards. A couple more of these, we have the New Bedford Symphony Orchestra, which also works with our 3rd graders. And just this month, our students had the chance to see the symphony live at the newly renovated Zeitarian Theater right in New Bedford. And this is just an opportunity provided to all New Bedford Public School students, but it really broadens their exposure to the arts. Sea Lab is New Bedford's hands-on marine science program for all 4th and 5th graders in New Bedford. And they participate in activities like beach profiling, species identification, and simple dissection to help them think like scientists and connect classroom learning to the natural environment right here in their own community. All of these partnerships give our students enrichment, real-world learning, and social support that strengthens their engagement and well-being. And they reinforce something we deeply believe in, that student success is a shared responsibility across our entire community.
Thank you, Christina. So talking about our social emotional learning strategies, this year our New Bedford Public Schools has provided second step curriculum and training to all of our school adjustment counselors, and that curriculum is not just isolated to the school adjustment counselors, it can be used by any staff in the building. So we've strategically identified some classrooms that receive weekly SEL instruction from the school adjustment counselor or our behavioral assistant, or even in conjunction with the classroom teacher. And those lessons might be on kindness. They might be about building community. We're trying to specifically identify what those classrooms need. All of our classrooms have an identified calming space that's supplied with calming tools. We have one pictured there in the center. Students are taught early in the year how to access and utilize this space, and what the cue is for going there. There's a timer. Students understand how to set the timer, how to reset. We also have calming and restoration spaces located on each floor of the building, and that can be utilized by students with adult supervision for students who need just a little bit more support beyond that classroom calming area. So these are also outfitted with calming rugs with patterns that you can trace, a beanbag, some nice strip lighting, and some calming tools as well, so that students can access if they need an additional reset. At Congdon, we have a student support team that meets weekly, comprised of admin, school adjustment counselor, behavioral assistant, and just to discuss strategies for identified students. The goal really is to address needs early and align those interventions with the classroom teachers or any other support staff who may work with that student, and to educate our staff too, and our classroom teachers, and to strengthen that learning ready environment. So talking about, I know attendance was mentioned early on. So at Congdon, we view attendance as the responsibility of everyone in the building. So we believe that our teachers are the first point of contact because they're the ones that have typically the strongest relationships with those families and those students. So every morning, an attendance report is sent out to the staff by 9:15. That outlines which students are absent and tardy for the day. Staff are asked to check that report as soon as they have the opportunity to do so and reply with any errors, just so that we know we're working with something accurate. Staff then reach out to families, whether it's a phone call or a parent square message, just to identify what's the reason that the student is out. And then we also have an attendance team that's comprised of admin, our attendance officer, our school nurse, our school adjustment counselor, and that team will meet bi-weekly, and we discuss different students who are struggling maybe with attendance and barriers those families might be facing. And we try to early on get those families identified and get them in for in-person meetings so that we can address those barriers and either get a RAP department referral or family engagement to support as well. We also celebrate attendance on morning announcements, and the grade level each week with the best attendance is announced and awarded a few extra minutes of free play. And I think that Mel can correct me if I'm wrong, but last week it was grade 5, and I'm pretty sure it was 97.5% average daily
You are correct.
So through these efforts, we were able last year to decrease our chronic absenteeism rate by over 5% and achieve that chronic absenteeism rate of 9.7 and an average daily attendance of 95.2. And we're on track right now to be right at those same numbers and hopefully a little bit less by the end of this year. So we feel that all the initiatives at Convening has either so much to share, but it really is a comprehensive approach and a cohesive system that supports the academic achievement, the positive behavior, and the strong relationships. And by aligning our mission and vision, climate, family engagement, student supports, community, it all grows. It's a reflection of collaboration and a shared commitment so that every student thrives. So we want to thank you, and we want to thank again Joe and the Lesley team. Let me stop sharing for all of your support, and we are very honored.
Wow, that I can't believe how much information you put into 20 minutes of presentation. Thank you. The work you're doing is in both schools, and what you just described at Congdon is just amazing stuff. And of course, there are a couple of things that I just had to pull out and really emphasize. And I think you did in that last slide, Mary. And I think one is that, it is the combination of these successful pieces. It is that, if you will, the and rather than the either or. It's trauma sensitive, it's PlayWorks, it's PBIS, it's what do we need, and pulling that together based on this climate of, you know, belonging and child-centered and safety support. Just a wonderful example of that in the work that you do and what you outline. There are also just a couple of, anyone who knows me knows I'm a real fan of small things make a big difference. And you had so many small as the new big examples in there, from the, you know, lining up in the morning to come into school to the greetings at the classroom door. There were two that I thought were really stood out to me. And the first was your discussion about rocking it out, like rock, paper, scissors. You know, I'm a fan of rock, paper, scissors, and I think to have those kind of tools, very straightforward. So now the students have a tool if there's a disagreement. They don't raise their voice, they have a tool they use in it, and you practice it and it becomes sort of the norm. That's number one. And number two, and again, these are small, but you know, is the new big, is recess before lunch. Just seems to me to be something that if you can do, just makes all the sense in the world. So I want to thank you very much, Mary and the team from Congdon, for sharing what you did. I want to thank also the Seach. And again, congratulations. I'm hoping we can all see from these presentations the amazing work that these schools are doing. And congratulations to the staff, the students, the leadership in the building, the districts for supporting this work, and the families for being a part of it. And I also want to thank everyone tonight for taking the time to share your experience and wisdom with us. I know this is an add-on extra, and it's not exactly at the most convenient time of the day, so truly appreciate your coming to do this. So as we move to concluding our meeting, I want to remind those in attendance who are beginning a LIFTS course this evening, now is the time to shift to your course's Zoom link. You should leave here and move to your course's Zoom link. And for everyone else, I want to thank you for joining us and wish you all a good evening. And one more congratulations and thank you to the Seach and the Congdon schools. An amazing job. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.